Hey everyone, this is Brad in Fort Worth, Texas, and wanted to do a video on the 2011 Limcat Custom. Just got this in a couple of days ago. Haven't had a chance to shoot it yet, but that's coming here within the next couple of days. This is chambered in a 10 millimeter. Price point on this was right around 7,500. You can get it for 7,000, and that does come with the optic. It was another 500 bucks to do a tungsten barrel, so I wanted to get a little bit more weight since it was a 10 millimeter. But just to kind of show you the gun, as far as looks go, oh man, it's awesome. I mean, everyone was super impressed at the range. Range USA is a place here in Arlington. It's a shooting range. They sell guns and all kinds of shit. But that's the place I normally go to shoot and have all the transfers come in for guns that I order. But just to show you a little bit, kind of some different angles here. The grip, it kind of, I don't know if you can tell, it looks really kind of aggressive, but it's actually not. I wish it was more aggressive, and some of it was because they must have dipped this son of a bitch in oil, because the whole thing was covered in oil whenever we opened the box, which I really don't know what that's about, but for whatever reason. It is a sub 2 trigger pull. We can test that out a couple of times here. Turning it on helps. Two 2.1. £1 13 ounces, which is what I was kind of getting before I started this video. It was all around like one pound 14, 1 pound 15 ounces. It's sub 2, but barely. Two. Two. So I'll say 2. Grip safety's pinned, which I prefer, which I'm sure on all these competition guns they are, except the staccato, which I'll do a video on that here shortly. It's got the nice thumb pedal for your left hand, right hand. One thing I will say, and it may not be a big deal, but for whatever reason it kind of irks me, is the gap between the frame and slide. Hopefully that kind of comes out there. I don't know, it just seems fairly large, that gap, at least in my opinion. Now it may have zero effect on the performance of the firearm, but I don't know, I like it when it's real tight. Most of the other ones have been fairly tight, but that's probably one of the larger gaps I've seen, especially in a $7,500 pistol. Let's see, it does not come with magazines. That's another thing. You have to. Atlas magazines is what the guy recommends. Julian Limcat, real nice guy. He was very helpful. But Atlas magazines, which is nice. And this is a 10 millimeter, so it's you can use the Atlas or basically the 2011 magazines for a 40 caliber. This is the Wildcat tracker. And I think maybe just the tracker, if it comes with the red dot. I think there's a Wildcat as well that does not come with the optic, if I remember correctly, but don't hold me to that. One thing I did not, and again, I have not shot this pistol at all. You're probably not going to be able to see it. The slide stop, there's basically like a blemish on there. Like they probably trying to get the slide stop out whenever they were putting the gun together. And just, I wouldn't know if it's scratched, but it just is kind of dull. This kind of backstrap check, I don't know if it's really checkering. It's kind of more of like kind of a diamond that's laying on its side. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing really. I wish the grips were more aggressive. That's the only thing. I really don't like the grips. And yeah, I'm sure things can be changed. Now this is just a stock gun. But as far as the looks of it, it looks pretty sweet. I may end up taking this kind of left thumb pedal off of there. The reason why is because racking this gun is goddamn near impossible. It's really amazing to me. I can't believe it's that tight. And I think I don't really know why. Compared to especially the other videos that I've done, dude, this thing is a pain in the ass to rack. Like you can't even rack it trying to do it from the front. And the thing is, you can't even really rack it from the front because this is in the way. That's kind of why I want to take that off. Then again, though, this is, competition guns made for competition. I'm not a competition shooter. I just do this for fun, pretty much. Just testing out all these guns because when I was initially getting into this a couple years ago, I would see a lot of reviews and a lot of them, whatever gun someone has, that gun is awesome. And it made it difficult to make a decision on what firearm I wanted to basically keep forever. And so I figured the best way to do it was to try out as many brands I possibly could. Shoot them, do some videos, kind of point out what I like and what I don't like, just to kind of help other people who, are in my situation. And, instead of spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on guns over time, because it does add up quickly, is, hopefully these videos will help some people make a decision so they're only spending $7,000 or $8,000 or $9,000 one time instead of doing it 10 times to try to figure out what gun is good and fits them. Which some guns are just going to fit your hand different than mine. At least pointing out some of the things that are what I think is to be kind of a pain in the ass on a $7,500 gun. Another thing, initially there's some kind of blemish here in the finish. Yeah, it's probably not going to come out on video because of the way the lighting. The light's probably too bright. but there's a little bit of something going on. It got scratched, and even when you're looking at it here, it's not going to show up on camera, but this white color is a little different. Like this is a little bit more bleached white. It's just the tiniest little scuffs, but um, you know, it's just something that's annoying when you're spending that kind of money. You know, these are probably some of the things that you won't see with the Nighthawk or Wilson Combat or some of these other really big, kind of, well, not big, but larger custom gun makers, is the attention to detail. I think Limcat, I don't think it's a big company. It may just be a couple of dudes building these. I don't really know. And it's not a knock on them or anything like that. I think it just has to do with the machining and technology. And kind of like anything, it depends on what person you get. Kind of like how Nighthawk, how they have 20 or 30 gun builders. Well, not all of those gun builders are equally as good. Um, you know, someone's always going to be better than the next person. So the barrel is pretty sweet, though. I will say that. Hopefully, you can kind of see there's a kind of some serrations right here on the end. And there's probably there's so much goddamn oil on this thing. And like I was saying, racking it is a total pain in the ass. I don't understand why the gun is this tight. It almost forces you to use your optic to rack the gun, which I hate doing. I don't think, uh, you know, I see people doing that sometimes, grabbing the front of it. To me, that's crazy. You shouldn't have to. You should not have to use your optic to rack a gun. For one thing, you should always be able to rack it. I think from the front. This thing, you cannot. I mean, it is fucking unbelievable. It almost makes me think like something is wrong with the fucking gun. Like you can't even fucking. It was such a beating, dude. Trying to basically get this back to engage a slide stop. Like even using, I hate even having to push on the front of the optic in order to get the slide back. That seems ridiculous. But anyways, that's the barrel. The barrel's nice. I mean, very nice. Um, the crown, you know, I'd say it's average. I wish it was a little heavier. Or just a little more of an incline, more of a bevel, I should say, I guess. But it's a heavy gun. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's got some weight to it. I don't know. It's probably just adding this pedal. Maybe the tungsten barrel adds some weight. I can't imagine it adds too much, but maybe a couple of ounces. A little bit of kind of checkering here on the front of the trigger guard. But very cool looking for sure. I really can't wait to shoot it because man, the trigger weight and the reset, man, it's super light. Let's see if I can get this to show. I always hate doing these videos because I'm not left-handed, so. But I kind of got into reloading, which has been taking up some of my time. So this is what this mess going on here. But you can kind of see, hopefully you can see that hitting the wall. And it's the tiniest little bit. This fucking gun, dude. I wish I could show you the reset a little better. Well, maybe I can do it this way. And the reset's hardly anything, which is pretty cool. So, that's it. Limcat Wildcat Tracker. And I'll give you an update on how it shoots. I'm sure it's nice. Now I'm going to do a video on the Staccato XC